G'day everyone, and welcome along to the fourth episode of the Family Bricks building channel, or building stream on a Thursday night. Just going to be building for a little bit here. If you've never seen me before, I'm Elder, and I like to create things, whether it's Lego or art or anything related like that. So we're going to get in, and today we're going to build some Black Panther Lego. It's a bust which was released recently and managed to pick it up, and we'll go from there. And just little things here. Just always need to see if the sound's working. Otherwise I'm here talking to myself, which is never a good thing, though it could be. So we'll just do a little quick sound check, which I'm pretty sure this is working. As with anything, I've got to go through and watch my own ads. We'll get going in a second. Lots of people watch the stream back later on. Hope that we're all having a good evening out there. And I'll just quickly do always just trying to get back onto streaming, getting used to it. And let's do a quick little word from our sponsor.
This video is brought to you by McCatsim Holiday Homes in Margate and Broadstairs. Great for a week's holiday or a weekend escape, being just over an hour east of London, UK. Treat yourself to amazing sunsets, a Lego wall, or great food. Visit www.mccatsim.com and mention this YouTube video and we'll look after you.
Okay, good. Sort of one of those things paid the bills now. Just get set up and then get underway with. Here we go. So I think should be all good now. Let's get over to comments here. So one earlier from Stud City's Black Panther Bust is great design. It's the price that's bad. If it were Wolverine with his claws out in $350, I would buy it. Well, and that was the sort of thing. I managed to get this one on sale, which is why I sort of grabbed it. I'm not, like Black Panther. I think, obviously Chadwick Boseman, great actor with that. Unfortunate with his passing. But the thing with this is, when looking at it, it worked out to be a great, parts pack. Mostly black, with some mocks, which we were doing, and when you get it on sale, like we used to do, the actual value of it's about 3 times the actual price which got paid for it, which is nice. So I figured before I start using some mocks, I'll actually just go through and build it first. And anything that gets left over can go into the Kids Bricklink store, which is a link down below there on the video. Just check to make sure the stickers in here as well. It's for the plaque. So just one single sticker for the plaque itself. What I've got away. It's like 2 books to actually build it. It's sort of first time I actually looked into it and seen anything. So it's that, the concept art. Give information about what it is. That's always nice. Some design notes, and then straight into it. Good old Technic frame. Okay, put the second one off the side. Won't need that for a while. Thought this was going to be kind of quick and easy. It's always the way with these things. How difficult could a bust be? We said that years ago. I built the Darth Maul's Star Wars one. Let's take it off to the side. That was more of a traditional sculptural build, which is always nice and challenging. So let's do some bag noise here. Bear with me. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. It's like a trans clear purple color. I'm not sure I've seen that before. There's the camera. I wonder if it shows up at all. I'm curious. Very interested with that. Okay, that's. I'm trying to get a bit of a move on. How has everyone been today? It's one of those things that had everything under control. It's going along nice, and it's going to start the stream sort of on time, and then check the email just to make sure nothing was out of control, and then an email there which like, need to deal with this. Great. But I think that's just the way these things go from time to time. Oh, I should probably put on a little bit of music. One day I'll get all this stuff done straight out of the gate. What do I want to listen to today? Start with this. Let's put that down just a little bit more. It's really sluggish these days. There. Interesting. What sells and moves. I recently had an order which cleared us out of all these little square Technic plates. Plates. Well, it's like a weird name that I'm just thinking. Frame pieces more than anything. It's also got just I thought I'd try it out, a bit of a poll there in the chat. Have a look at that. Which way is this going? It should go that way, I think. I don't think I've ever really done a poll before. Probably should even have a look and just remind myself what the question was. Let's go. Try to find it here if I can see it. What's the messages? Good evening, Trevor's videos. Nice to see you all. Hope that you're doing well. I wonder if you've been working on any more stop animation brick films. I think the last one we saw there was pretty cool. Enjoyed that. So definitely anybody out there who wants to check out stop motion, go and have a look at Trevor's videos one. What are you up to this evening, Trevor? You had a good week? Just going through here and building a little Black Panther. Managed to get this on sale recently and I sort of looked at it, it's like, well, it's mostly black, it's got a lot of the parts that I want. This could be a really good parts pack. Certainly not something which I think the full price of that was just way too much. It's interesting how they got me putting these pins after the back normally. It's so awkward to get in at. Do it before that step. It's funny how you get a bit of a rhythm or used to the way things normally get built. It could be a slightly different designer. Had some. We got Trevor there. Busy week, just putting the kids to bed and ensuring they have everything ready for school tomorrow. Sorry, nothing interesting. Cool. Yeah, our kids have been on school holidays this week, so I've been with them, keeping them amused and things during the day. Back at school next week, so just the 1 week off. I'm guessing then obviously you didn't have school holidays or vacation this week. Trevor off next week. Oh, okay, that's yeah. It almost gets to that point. It's like Friday before a break. I'm probably not going to do much at school, but yes, you must go to school. One unfortunately was sick on the last day. So the night before, so they managed to get a head start on the whole lot of days. Where are all these curved bits? I mean, the interesting thing when you open this up and you start filtering through all the bags, the amount of these magenta and pink and purple type pieces that you have, obviously, which are inside the build itself. A little surprising. Never really thought too much about it, but I mean, I guess it makes sense with, predominantly it's a black color and then sort of accent colors are pink or purple. I mean, I'm guessing that they do it so it's easier to tell in the instructions where pieces go and how they align to things. Right. And only on, what is this, like step 11? It's already starting to feel like the base of it is quite chunky, building up nicely. And earlier in the week, took a few days off. Went with the kids up to Chester. Just have a look around there, Wall City. It's pretty cool. Always nice to get out and see things a little bit different. I don't think they're particularly like the hotel because the Wi-Fi wasn't strong enough for their iPads. The things that are important these days. Trevor Video has been working on my avatar tree of souls, but just having time to fit everything in. And really pleased. My chance never so 100. Yep. Sure. Yes. I always remember at the time people like the first 100 subscribers are always the most difficult, and you sort of went through and did take a while to get, and just then the more videos that you put out, the more chances people have of finding you and coming back to your channel and all that sort of stuff. And then just the kids were actually quite good at it. They were just telling all their friends and anybody who'd listen about the channel, so that helped grow it. So yeah, I don't know, sometimes it depends on your personality. Some people don't like that marketing aspect, so yeah, it just helps and it works. So, Trevor's videos, are you on tomorrow's London Calling? No, I'm not on tomorrow. I usually only do every second week, and then because Greg goes through and plans out a lot of his stuff a fair bit in advance, try to coordinate people and everything like that. And I think this week he just had too many people. I was meant to be on this week, and he's like, "Oh, do you want to do last week instead?" It's like, "Yeah, sure, fine, that's good." Because I knew, had school holidays and things anyhow this week, so probably worked out well with that. So anyone who doesn't know, London Calling, done by London Bridge Bricks on his channel every Friday night, 7:30. Get so used to saying the kickoff for this stream 8:30 is 7:30 UK time. It's like 2:30 American, Eastern. Yeah, Eastern EST. I just think New York. So if you're in America, I'm sure you can work out what that works out to. He's been going straight now for over 3 years, which is, I don't think until you really start streaming regularly, just how much effort that requires. Trevor, have you seen any of the new little announcements we've had this week? We had Guardians of the Galaxy, sort of the Guardians of the Galaxy 3. There's been some sets there. BTS, which I must admit, I have no idea what that is. I still barely even know what it is. And then some of the Disney Up and things like that. It's gone in there. I mean, the BTS, just because of, the filming and everything like that, I always think BTS is, behind the scenes is what it stood for. That's why I just never understood when I saw the Lego ideas. Project got announced. There's 2 of these. And then I guess it's just also it seems to be based upon a Korean music band. But apparently I think they're on hiatus at the moment because they're having to do military service or something. But the music video is based upon, it's got something like 1.6 billion views. And completely means it's not something I know very much about. The actual set itself looks, it's from that particular Dynamite video, so it looks like it does, fair representation for it. I don't think the build's nothing flash. I mean, the minifigures look good for what they are, but again, not knowing the individual band members and things like that, kind of not really for me. So it just makes it easy to go, yep, pass on that one. Well, I suppose if they have done the Beatles in the past, doing some current music or something like that, it does make you wonder if somebody ever did like a Taylor Swift one and how that would go down. So I would imagine if it ever got through, there's such a rabid fan base out there. Let's try to see how this goes. Maybe that wasn't meant to go on there. You'll probably do quite well. And the Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I mean, if you just look at the sets as they are without looking back at the, I guess, movie reference, because the trailer dropped, Super Bowl last week? They look good. But then if you go and look at the actual reference, it's like, okay, yeah, they're kind of in the ballpark. You can kind of see what they're going for. These are some new pieces I haven't seen. It's like flat little 3x3/4 wedge pieces for the base. Don't know how well this is going to show up when everything is black on black. Okay, cool. Occasionally checking that there. Drivers Videos, yes, I've seen the announcements. I'm really interested in Disney Upset. One of my sons really likes the look of this set. I think I'll pass on the BTS set. Yeah, because I mean, part of me is sort of like, idea set. I think I'm starting so late on the ideas, it's sort of like, I'm not getting everything anyhow. The upset, yeah, look, I think it's good for what it is. I think the price point is reasonable for 2023. I just wish that the house looks like what it's meant to look like. I just wish it was a slightly, I don't want to say better build, but more detailed, or just a little bit more complicated. Maybe I don't know. I just remember watching that movie back in the day, and I think everybody's the opening scene of that, and so like Up is not a Pixar kind of growing up. I suppose those are there. Don't know, but from what I can see, the figures look really cool. Lego is hoping to sell will balloon in sales. Yeah, I think that was the other thing. I saw somebody comment, it's like, the house is going up by 3 balloons or something. So look, I'm sure it's a fair representation. It's not like the Guardians of the Galaxy ship where it's kind of there but kind of not. And whenever it's sensibly priced. It's not like this Black Panther thing, which is kind of way out. So I'm sure at some stage probably end up picking it up or something. That's really bizarre. That little trans purple piece goes inside there when you never see it. Trying to think if I saw a gag about that. I think it was only the 3 balloons. Somebody's commenting, yeah. Only 3 balloons to lift it up? But I guess it's just one of those things that they do what they can within a budget. And then sometimes I think, it'd be great if it had a whole bunch of extra balloons, but usually when the build is very repetitive, you're like, yeah, no. Drop this video, love the Disney train set just for the minifigs. Yeah. It's going to be noisy for a sec. Apologies in advance. Back down. Sounds like that's okay this time. Right at my feet, I've got a little Lego box, and sometimes if a piece drops into it, that's a small one. It's like, oh no, now we've got to go digging through that box to try to find it. I was thinking this has been symmetrical so far. Yeah, just back to the Disney train set. Yeah, the minifigures look great on that. The train, I guess again, it's the sort of thing because we had that train a couple of years ago, which was quite elaborate and everything. Any sort of train after that's not so much a step down, but they've obviously done the really big one already. I remember we're just forever talking about it on various streams at the time. It's like, if you're going to get anything, you're going to get the castle in front of the train. So I think certainly it wasn't cheap, that was a bigger one. So you can get it, and then of course now looking at it, it's like, maybe that wasn't the best decision. Of course, I think a lot of people in that boat, so the aftermarket price of that is just ridiculous now. But the one that they announced, was that a 4+ set, or was that just a normal? Just trying to remember. I'm not sure how well this is showing up, but yeah, there's lots of purples and magentas and everything. It's just like a trans pink. Again, don't know when they're going to see it. I don't even know. What am I tilting at the moment? So much I'm not paying attention to this. It's kind of like the shoulders. It doesn't show. That's bizarre. Probably can't see it, but usually in instructions, when you start with a new bag, they'll have a picture of that step that you're building, what it's you're building. It just doesn't. I try to do. Can I please ask, as I'm still learning, etc. Yeah, of course. But at what point are you eligible to live stream? As I notice I don't meet the criteria. That's bizarre. It's usually the sort of thing you can't stream off your phone until, at least when I did it at the time, until you had like 1,000 subscribers and something rather. But I think that was more so that if people were out drinking or something, they didn't go, what would be really funny? To have a drunk live stream. I think that sort of stops that sort of thing. So you usually do it off your desktop. I'm sort of surprised because I'm just trying to think. When did I start subscribing? I thought it was when I had about, is it just over 200 subscribers? Wait. I quickly do a Google on that because I'm just trying to remember this. Because I think before we sort of started at the beginning of before COVID, so I think that there was fewer people sort of doing it, so the rules are a bit more stringent. And then I think as COVID came along, they kind of relaxed them. because there's so many little quirks and things like that. There's also too, once you get 100 subscribers, you can apply for a shortened URL for your channel. So I think like there's a setting there. So mine is like, youtube.com/C for channel / bricks, I think it is, rather than if you wanted to give somebody out this weird gibberish link to your channel. So check that out. Travis videos. I used to use my phone. At the minute, unfortunately, I don't have a desktop or laptop. I edit my videos on my iPad. Okay, that might be. Although I'm just trying to think with an iPad. If you log into YouTube normally, I mean, the thing is, you can probably see in the top right corner, there's a StreamYard little watermark. So what I'm doing, a lot of people that I know have done, is they use StreamYards. It's with the watermark one there, it's free. You can pay for additional each month. When I was doing a lot of streaming, I used to do that. So I think with the freebie, you can stream for up to 20 hours in a month. Which reminds me of mine. Yeah, no, I'll stick under that. I was just thinking, am I going to go over that this month? And there's some other features and things that you can't do. But the main thing is it just makes it easier. So you go into StreamYards, you connect it up to YouTube, and you can basically do everything that way in terms of setting it up, because I don't think I've ever streamed just directly from YouTube. And StreamYards is kind of, I wouldn't say it's not complicated. I might skip something here. Yeah, I did. I felt the StreamYards just made it that a little bit easier to understand what you're doing. So have a look at StreamYards. They do have a weird login. You don't have a password because it's based off your email. So what happens? You go to log in, they send you the details to your email. So each time it's and that's how you get in. Trust video, it's a learning curve. I don't even know how you're doing the twin camera setup. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out, and that's because you got basically what happens is when you're streaming, you obviously, like say London Calling or whatever, to have people on, you give them a link which they then use in their web browser. So what you do to get the two is you've got a separate camera, and in one browser I have one sort of setup connection, and then in a different browser I have the other camera, and you sort of join in that way. The only challenge I've been finding is with the audio, because even though I've got it turned off, it's somehow, for some reason, it's still creating a slight little echo. I can't remember how to get rid of it. And so at the moment I've got headphones plugged in, so that kills most of it, because if I take them out, you get this really bad echo, because obviously because you're using two you're essentially being two people in the one stream, so it just feedbacks on itself. I'm trying not to over explain it. Apologies for all my questions. Really appreciate your help and advice. No, not at all. I mean, we all went through that phase where you're just like, how do they do that? It seems, it's like a magic trick. When you see it done, you're like, oh wow, how does that happen? And then you learn how to do it, and you're like, oh, is that all? That said, being then good at it, that's a whole different ball game. I would not. Even though I've done a lot of the streaming, I haven't done very much in the last 12 months. There was a very long period where I didn't do anything. Okay, yeah, it's a little bit like writing again, but it's still, everything's still right. And then for me, at least, I always find it's not a matter of, if something goes wrong, it's a matter of what's going to go wrong. There's always something, so you kind of just deal with it on the fly and do the best you can and laugh about it. Trevor, maybe one day I'll get it. Yeah, sure you will. I mean, the nice thing is you can just you can kind of, obviously watching a few people's streams and that, you get a sense of what's going on. So it's sort of like, okay, so how do you do that? Where's that button to push, sort of thing. And StreamYards isn't particularly complicated. And it's not too, like there's other ones you use, there's the Google one, which, that can be a bit of a challenge. And what was the other one? I'm just trying to remember it now. Is it Streamlab? Yeah. That seemed to require a lot more technical ability. And then the other one is a free open source. It's more of a video screen capture. It's called OBS. Which sometimes if I'm doing a drawing stream, I'll like a digital one, I'll use that to capture the input for a iPad and sketch through that. So it's really good for that sort of thing, but it's a bit of a fat. But the price is right, being free. And once you figure it out, it sort of all works quite well. Trevor, at the minute I really enjoy combining my hobby for Lego and video photography, and it's all about enjoying myself. My boys really get excited when my channel gets new subscribers. Bless it. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, exactly. I know that feeling, and particularly if they're at school and they're starting to talk about and things like that. Like obviously these days, kids at school are talking about all the different YouTubers and things like that. The way that we used to talk about TV shows. So then once you start being involved in that realm or whatever, it's like, oh, they're close to it, sort of thing. It's not abstract. Kind of not explain that in a good way, but no, it's cool. I mean, even I'm surprised into with the kids too, because they'll go, sometimes I'll just look at a subscriber number and they're like, oh, it's down 3 or up 5 or something like that. It's like, wow, you're paying attention to that. My boys are 11 and 12, so yeah, they'd be like, being sort of thing. I'm just guessing at that sort of. So it's cool. When you are. Now, just when it was like every subscriber really made a difference. Not that, it's all new. Just wanting that number to tick over. see here. How's my connection? Let's just see if we check this. Let's see. Oh, that's right. I got to go back through my own ads again. Well, at least I'm showing up. My Instagram seems to be going well too. Oh, that's great to hear. Yes. I think just unfortunate started at a point where basically if you're doing video, it was mainly YouTube. Very quickly then, I mean, you could do a little bit on Instagram, but they tried to do the IGTV or something. And I just always found that very clunky. And then TikTok obviously came to prominence, and trying to understand that. And even just seeing the way that that's morphing and changing and things. So I've been watching a lot more. Mr. Beast has been doing, on sort of interview circuit and stuff like that. So sort of seeing his thoughts about things and how he's doing it and his approach. I mean, partially he's just a workaholic and he's just obsessed. But I like the idea. You just basically, at the end of the day, it's like, are you making stuff that people want to watch? And do you have a good thumbnail which isn't clickbaity, like you deliver on what it is, and does it hold people whatever else, but does the fundamental are you making stuff that, or is it sometimes a bit more vanity? So anyhow, I'm kind of digressing, but I think I've always looked at YouTube and particularly liked it, one, because the analytics are really quite good and they're always working on it, so you know what's going on, whereas Instagram and TikTok, it's like I have no idea what's happening here. I mean, you can obviously look at it and go, hey, I've got views, didn't get views. Where do people come from? YouTube second largest engine, search engine after Google. I think it's the thing with Reels and TikToks and Shorts and things like that. You can get a spike on views quite quickly. But then long term, I don't think those videos, people then don't see them. Whereas I know I've got some longer form videos on YouTube, which they just get views every day and have for the last 3 or 4 years. And then I look at it and it's more the evergreen content. So I guess the short version is, it also comes down to what you're doing, which way you want to go it. Like, on the one hand, you can do everything like that and get that instant hit, and it really helps accelerate your growth in terms of subscribers and things like that. But in terms of then how sticky those subscriber numbers are is then something different, because you can see some channels which is shorts or whatever, and then when they release a long form content, like they might have tens of thousands of subscribers, but then they release a long form content and they'll get less than 100 views. So Bingloo and Trevor have been looking at display cabinets, seem to have more sets to display than we have room. Yeah. That's, you get to a point, it's like, where am I putting everything? And that's where over time we've sort of gotten a bit better at eBaying stuff. What's these for? These combination of things. One, if you eBay it, then that then gives you cash to like buy the next lot. So you can kind of just have a bit turning over all the time. I particularly, I like my Technic and things like that. Well, used to. That's a whole different story. And you sort of build it, and they take a long time, and it just sits there. It doesn't really do anything. So you've only got limited shelf space, and then it comes down to, what are your interests? What do you want to display? But you will run out of space if you are buying and sending frequently. So then it's a matter of, well, how big is your loft? And what's, if something's up there for years on end, is it really worthwhile? And the kids' interests have changed over time too. I mean, they're into Star Wars, so all that stuff, like, I can't leave on display because the kid get up and play with them. So just that's what's going to happen with that lot. But yeah, depending on which sets and things, if you get sets and you hold on to the boxes and the instructions and things like that, depending on which one, sometimes after they're retired, you can sell the used set for more than what you paid for it, or close to. And in the meantime, you've had the joy or the experience of being able to build it and do whatever with it. What obviously, Trevor, you do the stop motion animation, things like that, which that always sucks up a lot of time. But if you do those well, how is that getting attached? Sorry, must be like that. There can be nice evergreen content which people will always come back and watch, and then you can break down parts of it and use it for shorts as well. What do you sort of want to do with your channel? Is it just focusing on those brick type films, or is there other things you want to do? So originally we sort of did the channel more as a family thing to follow the kids' interests and stuff like that, and then family bricks. But then very shortly thereafter, we had a whole thing called Copper, which is basically where they decided, well, not decided, but Google YouTube got into a bit of trouble because they were keeping data on minors under the age of 13, which there'd been a piece of legislation in America, which from like 98, which basically said you can't do that. Which if you keep data on kids, you can then serve them more targeted ads. The advertisers like it, blah 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 blah. So while the kids are involved, they're not front and center like originally intended, just because of all those things. So the channel kind of pivoted a little bit there, and I've always intended it to sort of be around the interests of the family and things like that. So in terms of if there's a change of direction or there's a pivot or there's just a natural evolution, like kids are going into their dark age and we're interested in Fortnite and stuff like that, so we're trying to do a bit more stuff with Fortnite content. They might at some stage then pivot again after that. That's an idea, to break a video down to use the shorts. Yeah. Yeah, there's all sorts of different theories and ideas, but if you've got one bit of content, like, shorts takes a long time to do, and certainly when I do more of the art and painting, like, if you do a painting video which takes 20-30 hours, if you do a painting which takes 20-30 hours, you only get out of it. I've always sort of looked for get more content out of that painting and still be interesting. And sometimes it's just worth doing. I noticed that others would do, like, when you finish a painting, you give it a coat of varnish, which helps the colors come back, and it's cool. I was seeing some people get ridiculous views on their version of that, so I tried it, and yep, there's just something about it. People love it. I know some of the varnishing videos, which, to varnish a painting takes a minute or two. It's easy content to film. I can crunch them down as shorts or something like that, or just do the key bits, and those videos will do quite well in the actual time lapse of the painting or something like that. And it's like crickets. Sorry, it crashed. I just logged back in. My apologies. Yeah, no, that's fine. So there's always the nice thing about these live streams is you come back and watch them on replay or later on or whenever. Catch up. So, and then sometimes with stop motion, like I've seen some people, what they'll do is obviously they're going through and they're doing the stop motion, but then they'll film themselves doing stop motion as a time lapse, and then they put the two videos side by side, so you can sort of see this is what the finished product looks like, and at the same time this is all the hand movements and messing around to achieve that. And sometimes I find those videos quite fascinating, more so than the actual stop motion itself. I think it was with I don't know. It's just interesting because certainly you get some big / medium size YouTubers, and what I mean by that is probably the guys which have 1 to 10 million subscribers, and you can see a couple of years ago they'd do videos and they'd get several million views, and now some of the videos consistently they'll only get a couple 100,000. I mean, my theory is that the eyeballs have gone on to shorts and TikTok and all the rest of it. But certainly if you're getting a tenth the number of views that you used to, but the same number of subscribers, particularly if you got AdSense or revenue off the back of that, that's got to be concerning. Originally set up the channel just to upload anything family oriented, hence the name Trevor's Videos. if I thought it was interesting enough for others to watch, then I'd upload it. Yeah. Yeah, sounds very, very similar. Maybe you heard part of it when it crashed. It was sort of saying similar, family bricks, origin of that. And originally, it was kind of a bit of a dumping ground for this stuff. So one there was the other one was either side. Yeah. The other nice thing about that, make sure I keep that consistent, is particularly if you've done short video edits with family and stuff like that, then it's easy to find in a couple of years. I can even go back to some of the early videos on the channel where the kids were doing stuff, and even in that 3 years or so, you can see just how much they've changed and everything. And yeah, sure, you've got videos at home like I think everybody else does. You take your photos, perhaps never ever look at them again. Okay, bag 3. I'm gonna get some crinkling noise here. Just bear with me. Interesting thing. I don't know how this is going to show up. That's only 2 bags worth. And okay, there's some big bricks and things in there, but it's coming up quite quick. I was surprised. I think it's like 17 bags or something. Trevor, then life changed. Things also changed with mine and the boy's life, and I didn't really bother with the channel. I've had the channel since 2013. Yeah. I think, what was the expression? Is it being playful, but then it happens in between or something? Yeah, as with anything. I think it's always what your motivation is for doing it. And, I've been doing Facebook Lives and things like that what was that? When that was first the thing back in, I think, 2014, 15, 16, sometime around then. Because of the field, I get asked some questions pretty frequently, and after a while you just say the same thing again and again. And it's like, I've forgotten to put something on there yet. You kind of get, you want to give a detailed answer because some of it's quite technical and everything. And at that stage, it was just a matter of, I don't want to keep just saying this again and again and again. So I just do like a Facebook Live, like another video, and just send people the link if they've got any questions after that. So I was using it a lot more for those sorts of things. I'm trying to do some marketing stuff with it, which, at the time, nobody was using video. So if you were using video in marketing, it was a point of differentiation. Which was really effective, but since then video's taken over everything, so now it's all just noise. It's only recently begun to upload and decided to grow the channel as I'd found Lego enjoyable and helped de-stressed after a day's work, and my love for it's grown, and I love being creative. It's so many people like that. It's like, you just want to go and do something, enjoy it, and it's not and everybody can approach it in their own way. People do all sorts of different things with it. and you can appreciate it. And, if you're doing a lot more of the stop motion and things like that, that's cool. And other people just build sets. Others will do mocks. Others do a lot more live streaming. Then they're looking at like a compatible brands like Kobe. Like if people are into all their military, tank, things. And I mean, you could probably appreciate the stop motion. Inherently takes a long time to do, and that's probably the thing I didn't appreciate as much when it comes to doing the videos. The amount of time to edit something, that's the thing which I just never fully appreciated. So then after a while you try to not so much take shortcuts, but just get very good at, like, originally sort of, you do 3 or 4 takes on something and then go through and select the best take, or edit together parts, and like as you would like a sort of a feature film or something like that. But then I think the first video, the first 1 or 2 videos on the channel, they're only about 2 or 3 minutes long, but because the number of takes and things, it would take days to edit them, and you're just like, gotta get faster at this, because this just doesn't make that much of a difference. You can spend all that extra time just to tweak it that 1 or 2%, whereas in that additional time, if you just went close enough's good enough and then moved on to the next one, you'd have a whole other video done. Missed something there. Oh, that goes that way. There's 2 of these. I mean, I didn't know what to expect with this build. I guess I didn't really think about it. This is so interesting as a build. I must admit, I'm not the best fan of how the final product, at least from the images I've seen, that looks. But I probably go more for sometimes the build experience, trying to see how things are done. Getting back to the saying earlier, because you get to the end of it and it's like, right, there's only so much shelf space. And I think a lot of the things sort of keep on display are, for me, the ones that are a lot more personal, rather than just a set by itself. Sort of look around, I've got my Sonic the Hedgehog mock, big one, which I did, what is it, going on 2 years ago now. I've always wondered if I should display that or something, do a show or something. Other ones just sort of the main ones. I love that film. And then that one was special because I started building it and I wanted to build it myself, but then one of the kids got involved and took over and built most of it. So it's sort of like, okay. I mean, we managed to do it together, which is cool, because there's a lot of symmetry on it. It's like you build one side, I build the other side. What else is up there? Yeah, some of the Star Wars mocks which are done. A couple of the modulars. G'day, Brett's Builds. Hope that you're going well. Welcome along. Building a bit of Black Panther. How's things been going with you? What tear down version are you up on when you're on your channel? So just managed to pick up Black Panther at a really good price. I'm mainly using it as a parts pack for mocks. Anything additional will go into the kids' Bricklink store, because most of the pieces are black, so they're the ones which people particularly want. Brett Family Bricks, all good, buddy. Hope you're well too. Yep. No, going well. I think we were chatting a bit earlier. School holidays at the moment. You all have all your regrets at home, driving you crazy, making you go, why, where are the teachers when you need them? Surely it's time to go back to school already. No, it's been good with to take a couple of days, get away, see some family, do those sorts of things. Brettsville's lots of castle layout things going on this end. Yep. Cool. It's excellent to hear. That's been the London AFOLs are doing like a cooperative castle build, and somebody's gone crazy and done these brilliant kind of instructions, or like modular sorts of things where you can go through and use it as a bit of a base, but then do whatever. So come together and spin something that's like, I want to do a bit. I'm just not sure I got the time for it. So, doing that, I might get the castle bug, and that could be the end of all things. So let's move that way. Can we try and get where people can see what's going on there? Check something for a second. What are we up to there? Yes, castle. Just trying to think. One of the kids we were looking at the other day. That's right. I'm just reading a book, and it's an old Kingdom's Lego storybook or something like that. I think it was like a 2011 copyright in it. So then it was a matter of Kingdoms, I guess, was the castle at the time, and then obviously there was Nexo Knights, which has been after that. Has there been anything else? Has that been the last little castle-y bits? I mean, obviously we've got the Lions Knights one at the moment, but I mean in terms of like a full-blown thing. Have I missed? Oh no, that does overhang there a bit. It's always the thing. Sometimes streaming and talking, it's like easy to miss bits. I'm trying. Just last week too. I mean, previously I'd always just do every single comment which popped up, but I noticed I really did slow the building down a bit, so it seemed this week trying it without doing that. So I hope nobody's offended. And try to at least see the comment. Yeah, Trevor talking to a bit earlier about people's individual interests and things like that, and Brett likes his castle and his trains. So certainly check out some of his Instagram stuff. And it's just always making these castles and then tearing them down, redoing them, improving them, tweaking them. And he also has, or has had, I'm not sure if it's still there at the moment, trains which are actually about 3 levels, because I don't know if you've ever built a train set, but it can be quite space intensive with the tracks. So to get around that, Brett just basically built them up in 3 or 4 levels. So using a small footprint, but you're still able to run multiple trains. I always sort of see it, and it just freaks me out because I don't know, just in terms of you see different levels of trains, it's like if that falls off. G'day Brixix. Hope that you're doing well. Welcome along. Hope you've had a good day. How's things been with you? Anything interesting? I was trying to think. Are you Brixis, are you a Disney type person? I can never remember. Obviously you had the Up house today. Was it today or yesterday? Whenever it was. Trevor Brixis, how you doing? Good to see you. I'm good. Thanks, Trevor. Hope you're well. Yep. Excellent. It's for better or worse, Brixis. I associate with calendars and the jokes that you do on each day, which are funny. So maybe I should drop that down a little bit. Almost felt like I was hiding over a wall there. Yeah, I like Disney. Okay, cool. Yeah, no. What's your thoughts on Up and the Train? I thought the Up one, yeah, looks really good. Figures look good. I think for the price point, it seems reasonable. Part of me just wishes the house was a little bit more detailed or something. Trevor Brixis, I'm looking forward to the Up set. My son loves the set now he's seen the pictures. Yeah. Yeah, that's sometimes the hard thing with the kids. It's sort of like generally we don't get anything until, occasionally maybe something soon after release, but most of the time it's a year or two later when it's gone on sale or something. So it's the sort of thing, if you get it 30, 40, 50% off, it's almost like, you can get 3 Lego sets for the price of 2 sort of thing. Okay, this just seems to be building the opposite side. And then this comes around this side. Is that in the right place? It almost feels wrong, but it is not symmetrical front and back. Just trying to. So that can be the front, maybe. Just trying to get a better sense of what this is like. So the camera's sort of coming at the down angle. That no, it's big. Okay, so that's only 3 bags worth too. On to bag number 4. So I just have to deal with the crinkling noise for a sec. That bag's just behind the laptop, so I'm going to drop that down. Buckets of professionalism here. Okay, so here we are. Bricks I've never seen up, but I know of it, and I think that looks pretty good. Even the train, I probably won't be getting them though. I don't think the Disney train was going to be. I did think the Disney train was going to be bigger though. Yeah, it's interesting. We're just sort of commenting on that a little bit earlier. After you had that Disney train from a couple of years ago. And then seeing that one, it's like, it's kind of minifigures with a skeleton of a train or something. So, but in terms of not seeing up, I remember seeing that for the first time, and the first 5 minutes. If you watch the 5 minutes, it's when Pixar really grew up, and I mean that in a really good way. If you go onto YouTube, you can probably find the first 5 minutes. Highly recommend just that. Just watch it. I mean, obviously, if you've got Disney Plus, something like that. Even if you only just watch the first 5 minutes. I mean, with anybody else out there who's seeing up, feel free to chime in and say, yes, the first 5 minutes, just watch that. It's a nice size set for a kid, though. Yeah, I guess that's the sort of the other way of looking at it as well. As I've been saying so many expensive sets, something like this. Getting something which isn't cracking the bank open each time. Need that variety. I guess that's the thing, which I was sort of, because I've got that thing in the first 5 minutes or up in my head, or burnt in there. I guess I was just expecting something to kind of match up to that level, and kind of didn't. But that's my own fault more than anything. Trevor's video, sad animation, but brilliantly done. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, I still remember it. Still remember where it was when I saw it. And yeah, just really going, okay. This is very, at the time, it was very different for a Pixar film in terms of the way that they opened it, because you'd have your Toy Stories and your Incredibles and all these sorts of things. I think sometimes we AFOLs forget that Lego sets are sometimes designed for kids. Yeah. There is an element of that, but then also too, obviously in the last couple of years when they're doing the whole 18 plus AFOLs, everything like that, and going after that market a bit more. And particularly with bigger sets, price points moving upwards, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, I think I was at one of the interviews with a designer. It's like, AFOLs can be the best fans and they can be the worst fans. It's sort of like, they're great in terms of, stuff that they like and they're rabid for it and consume it and pick it apart and all that sort of thing. But then it's like, yeah, and then do pick it apart. And it's sort of like a little bit hypercritical and things like that. Okay, now I'm going to make sure this goes on the right side. That seems to be this side. It's not very reassuring. It seems to be. I think it's going to go on this side. That one has that fit. Yeah, it slots into there. Yeah, this is such it's an interesting build because of the number of big pieces you're using. I guess I'm sort of, we get used to speed champions with really fine small details and some of the modular the things that they do, and then all of a sudden using something which is using big chunky bricks. I guess really going for that sense of volume. Sort of wondering with the build cam, what's better? Is it better to see what I'm doing with my fingers or getting a profile of the actual bust? Brictious, what do you guys think of the BTS set? The Bond set? Is that what we're talking about? No, I'm just being a bit sarcastic. Because whenever I saw BTS, I'm just so used to thinking in terms of like film and things like that, when it's like behind the scenes. Whenever you see, for like your Marvel films or something like that, it's BTS behind the scenes for this, that, and the other. But in all seriousness, I got that right now. Until that Lego set came out, like I've obviously seen it on the ideas and the getting through, and I'm sort of like, I have no idea what the source material is here, and then being leaked and everything like that, and then today when it had the full proper reveal and everything like that, it's like I still have no idea what this thing is. So then just did a quick little Google and sort of saw, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's based upon a Korean music video band, and the video has something ridiculous on YouTube, like 1.6 billion views. So watch through it, and I mean, it's certainly not a set that's targeted at me, because I have no idea about this. If I just look at it objectively as a set, it looks like they've done quite well in the minifigure. The price, you've sort of got some sort of builds which each represent a couple of the key, I think one key part per each band member sort of thing. And again, it's probably, it's obviously targeted at those fans who may not necessarily be Lego fans. So you're not doing something super complicated. So, look, I'm sure it's cool for what it is. Doesn't really mean anything to me because I'm not the target market. I barely even knew who these people were. But it's cool that it's there. It's, of the 800 Lego sets Lego will release this year, it's nice to be able to say, not nice, but that one is nowhere near the list of anything which I want to be buying. And I'm happy for the fans that it does target. I started collecting Lego architecture sets, then Star Wars dioramas. Now I'm hooked on the Avatar sets and the Star Wars UCS sets. Ooh, the last ones are expensive. And Brixfish, yeah, so did I, Matt, until I met a tease. Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, obviously she's been around in the streams for quite some time and things like that. Whenever I was doing a draw stream, she was always really supportive of it and would generally ask for, was the one that she did, the 80s one, the Korean band. So yeah, you kind of get a bit of exposure through that. And just, yeah. So that's probably obviously the fans it's going to be targeting, so we're going after. Trevor's video, I get the BTS and why it's produced, but I'm afraid it's not for me. But I bet it will sell out within hours, especially with BTS having billions of followers. Yeah, I mean that's what Lego's trying to do. Bring in people through sets and things which they otherwise wouldn't reach. Even the other last week I was in the Lego store just because I hadn't looked at the brick wall for a while and just starting to do some mocks. I wanted to see what pieces they actually had there, so I did a quick crawler pad video of Blue Water, so that's up on the channel. But while I was doing that, I was just where the pad wall ends, right next to us, where you have all the botanicals range, and you had some teenage girls in there, and I think the way that the conversation was going is sort of more there with their brother having a look at some stuff, and then they saw the flowers line. It's like, oh, this is really cool, and they started picking it up and looking at it, and I think they ended up buying a couple of them. And that's, I think what has really been targeting that sort of market, the casual, and sort of trying to get people into it. Good evening, GLS. Welcome along. Hope that you're going well. How's your day been? Brickfish, the set reminds me of a friend set minus the mini dolls. That's an interesting take. I hadn't thought of that. Now you've got one of the friend sets which you need to build at some stage. I've been thinking about doing the sitcom tower. Friend set. Yeah, I guess. The thing I'd say is that I would have thought the friend set, I mean, not built it, but probably a little bit more detailed. But then again, maybe I'm just splitting hairs over that. And certainly, you put that thought in my head now. I'm going to be looking at that later on. Trevor's like knew what they're doing when they agreed to create the set. It will sell because BTL reviews and things like that. It's sort of like, what market are we going to be hitting with this that we normally don't get to? And yeah, and it's the sort of thing where, from what I understand, because the guys have to do compulsory service, they're kind of on hiatus at the moment. So, launching around this time, the band probably isn't doing a great deal, so the fans will just be rabid for anything related. Fingers crossed as well, because then maybe like other things, you start getting other famous bands and music clips and things like that. Like, I mean, obviously we had the Beatles' Yellow Submarine a couple of years ago, but do you start getting into, I'm just throwing it out off the top of my head, but what about a Michael Jackson Thriller, or take some of those iconic videos and doing them as Lego sets with the performers and things like that. And I'm sure with the way some record sales and digital and everything is like that these days, some musicians might jump at the chance for another sort of revenue stream or something like that, like a product. Imagine if they did an Elvis one or something like that. I could really pull in a different demographic. I'm looking forward to the London telephone box. Up to there. So just being in the UK, it's like, cool, got through, great, love it. GLS saying hi to everyone. Trevor, I've got one son who loves and collects the Speed Champions range of sets, and my older son building, loving Minecraft. I spend far too much. Yeah, it's interesting how given what the kids get into, you sort of start getting into it. Like the kids have got me playing Minecraft at different times, and then you start looking at some of the sets and things like, I can understand what some of this stuff means. And then the Speed Champions, once they went to the 8-stud wide, I think it was Greg. Was it Greg or maybe Solid Brick Builder? He did a comparison between a 6-stud wide and an 8-stud wide, and sort of really paid attention. That's like, the 6-stud ones I've never been a fan of. They were just kind of like caricature versions of the cars. And then when they had the 8-stud, it's like, these are actually starting to look cool. Sorry, we're on the other side now. And Rivendell, we've just slowly been going through the Lord of the Rings books and films. It feels like it's upside down. It's a great set. I'm sure the price on it represents value, but it's still expensive. But I can't justify the cost on one set, that would feel selfish to me, especially when the kids are also collecting. Yeah, it's a large chunk of coin. I mean, particularly if you're in your to UCS Star Wars stuff, that's more large chunks of coin. Trevor saying good evening to GLS. King Oldendorf, welcome along. G'day, hope you're going well, KO. Hi there, handsome. Just pop on to leave a like because I'm very busy at the moment. Oh, thanks for doing that. Hope that in your realm of being busy, you're being productive and getting through what you need to. Hopefully it's not stressing you out or anything like that. Well, thanks very much for popping on and leaving a like. And yeah, to anybody else, feel free to pop a like down there. I think this is the first time I've mentioned it all night. What's that, over an hour and a half into the stream? Streaming professionalism at its finest. As for the handsome, who are you talking to, by the way? There must be somebody in the chat then. There comes a black one there. And Trevor saying hello there as well. So the one's there. Okay. I must say this, like I'm just working through bag 4 and it's big. And it's come up very quickly and there's, I thought there was 17 bags. And just before the stream, just trying to quickly sort the bags out, so at least I've got something here to be able to build in front. That's right here. I suppose now that Black Panther 2 is on Disney Plus, probably should give it a watch. Has anybody out there seen it so far? Any thoughts on it? Sort of once heard the Marvel Universe and people's reaction to it, like in the lead up to COVID, was very much of a fever pitch, and kind of COVID kind of broke the fever. So no, certainly there was one point where you'd want to. Well, I certainly felt like as soon as a Marvel film was released at the cinema, I wanted to be seeing it there before there's any spoilers or anything like that. But certainly these days, I don't feel that inclination. Is that just me, or is other people a bit the same boat? Just been trying to think of why that is. I think it's been the TV shows. They're just sort of too much of a good thing. Because it felt like, the TV shows really came to the fore in COVID. With WandaVision, Loki, and all that sort of stuff. And what was it? The Captain America one. The Falcon and Winter Soldier. Brick Shoes, be right back. I'm going to grab a cover. Cool. We'll be here when you get back. Thank you for spending your evening with us. Appreciate that. An interesting set coming out next month is the Exotic Parrot. Which one's that? Exotic Parrot. Is that like a 3-in-1? Yeah, that's right there. Yeah, I watched Wonder Condo Forever the other night. It's well worth a watch. Yep. No, I have to check it out. I think also too, obviously, unfortunately, with the situation with Chadwick Boseman, just butchered that. He had such a presence on screen, and was a fantastic actor for that character. At this stage, it's kind of like, trying to replace Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. Like, that's going to be a tough act. So it's almost a matter of you kind of go in knowing that part's not going to be there. Trevor bricks his chocolate biscuit with mine, please. Because once obviously they've done the Super Bowl, so you had some good prop, which was Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which looks okay. Again, I don't know whether it's just Marvel fatigue at this stage. I think possibly also too, because the last one I watched, I still haven't finished watching, it was Thor: Love and Thunder. Just seemed really difficult. And I don't think the jokes were quite landing right with that one. What else? Oh, the new Flash. And then, obviously having Keaton back as the 89 Batman. Really looking forward to that. It's kind of like, okay, yeah, you had the Superman films, 78, early 80s. But I think it was really the 89 Batman, which then started going, hey, you can do superheroes and they can be cool. And they can work and make money. And it doesn't have to be Adam West cheese. Not that there's anything wrong with the 66 Batman or anything like that, but it just, solved its time, things like that, and it just need to move on. I feel there's another big trailer that dropped, which I just can't think of at the moment. The youngest inside with the Batman Flash. I mean, James Gunn's being brought on to, take it in a different direction and that, so I think, it'll be a nice way to segue from whatever they were doing before to something in the future. And I guess it's that sort of thing. You just get it going. Michael Keaton Batman. Please. It does make me wonder too with that Keaton Batman, how much of it's sort of like, computer and deep fake or whatever they're using these days. Because I mean, Batman, that 89 Batman's a few years old now, so Keaton would be. God, he must be pushing 60, 70? I couldn't imagine him jumping around is going to be great for his knees. Trevor, 3-in-1. Yep, okay. Because, the other thing I was thinking about, so like, you had the parrot from the Brickman designer. What was it? Was this cockaboo? Something like that from a while ago. And I thought there was another one. Maybe it was an ideas submission one. Here. Yeah, because the 3-in-1s kind of funny because that's the way that Lego used to be. So like everything came with alternate builds and models and things, and then the 3-in-1s are kind of like, look, you can make it into 3 different things. It's like that's how it always used to be. Does this go? Okay, bag 5. Bag rustling time now. Ooh. Look like the pieces for the necklace sort of thing. First, 460 views on stop motion, be lovely, and I'll be extremely happy if this video runs at 500. Yep, no, it will. I think you've got a good little bit of evergreen there, and it's one of those things as you do more videos, you don't. And the latest thing is always the thing that you kind of focused on. And then, yeah, as you do more and more, it kind of goes towards the back. And you'll get a year or two down the line and go, oh, that video, it's interesting how it's done. Oh, look at that. It's 1,500 or whatever it is. I think stop motion's a little bit different. Like normal videos, it's like, you know, near enough's good. Because certainly some of the videos which I put a lot of time in and thought they'd do brilliantly and whatever else, they just dive bombed, not done anything. And then others which I've thought, you know, it's just, I'll just quickly whack this together, nobody's going to care. All of a sudden it takes off. Because I think one of my most popular videos is basically this storing system which I use in different drawers in the way that she'll go through and do it, whatever. I didn't think much of the video, just quickly recorded it. It was mainly because the kids' parents at their school be asking me, well, how do you sort your Lego, or how do you do it, or whatever. So it was mainly just a quick way to say, here, look, here's a video, here's kind of some ideas with it. So the audio was terrible on it, I didn't really think about it. And I think it's done over 30,000 views now. And like, it's like, I think the video itself is like 17 minutes long. And people watch like a lot of it. So, and it's just one of those ones, you know, every day, only another 40, 50, 60 people watch it. Just keeps ticking over. And then it's just like, just compounds. You know, look at it once in a while and say, oh, okay, done another 5,000 or whatever it is. The only thing I'm a bit bummed about is being an early video, a lot of the initial views were done before it was monetized. So, not that it makes a huge difference. Like, it's like, yeah, one of the most successful videos, and a lot of the views which came out of it were before part of the monetization. But that's just in terms of, you know, every little helps. And I'll tell you now you don't, particularly with Lego and things like that. You're not doing this for money. Trevor, it's crazy how some videos perform better than others. Yeah, I think initially it's just, again, I know with stop motion, so it's harder because it takes so much work to do the video. Initially, it's almost like you're just throwing mud at the wall and seeing what sticks. That feels like the stuff missing. So I try to, yeah, no, it's on there. I'm pretty sure that was right. You just got a bit of section here which is floating, which seems a little odd for this. And it's all black, and the way the alignment is on the picture, it's kind of like, what's going on? It looks like it's all going to get covered up with those arch thingies, so it's probably okay. Trevor, as long as you've enjoyed producing it, I suppose it doesn't matter. Yeah. I think there's always, and as a creative, certainly doing art and things like that, you always want a good response. Like, it's just inherent. Like, I mean, I always find it funny when you get people say, no, it doesn't. That's not what I do it, blah, 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 blah. I just do it for me, rah, rah, rah. It's like, well, if that's true, don't release it. Like, because if you're releasing it, it's no longer for you, it's for somebody else. They're looking for some form of validation. Like, yeah, that's a whole side different rant. I suppose that comes down to what you're making your videos for. Some of them will be for, I think, with the YouTube, you're either looking at entertaining, having something funny or something people enjoy watching, or you're just the nature of it. You're looking to do some form of. Sorry, just something still. Oh no, that does off there. You're looking at doing some sort of instructional thing or tutorial, like, second largest search engine. Why are people doing it? Because they're looking for how to solve a problem generally. Like, how do I hang a picture frame? Like, how do I? We've all used it for different things. So if you're able to solve a problem, for the most part, okay, then shorts are another different layer on top of it. Capturing that 3-second interest short, something quick and punchy. And I'm sure there's something else I was thinking about that. Your subscriber is amazing. You should be extremely proud of what you build. I wish I had well for the future. Well, thanks for that. I mean, probably. Yeah, sure. You're going to look at the subscriber number, and I still look at it and it's like, wow, okay, there's that many people at some stage that press that little subscribe button. And yeah, I sort of, did a lot during COVID, and I sort of, YouTube is kind of like way down the priority list between work and family and doing all sorts of other things and businesses and what have you. I just wish I was a bit more consistent. Just what I'm trying to do with these live streams, at least, once a week on Thursday, turning up and trying to get through some stuff. Because certainly just having a pile of Lego boxes in the corner It's like it's a bit of a waste. I don't know. It's a subscriber count's a weird thing. Because certainly at the beginning, you're just trying to get to that initial 1,000. It just feels like the first milestone or threshold to get across. That and your 4,000 hours. I mean, because I had that initial video, that sorting video did really well. I hit the 4,000 hours really quickly, and it was a subscriber count, which took a long time to get across the line. Trevor there. I did think at tea time, it's Thursday and you'll be doing a live stream. Oh, cool. No, that's I know it's certainly with others and that, like I know, London Bridge is on a Friday and these people on, a Saturday, or it used to be the sort of thing, particularly during COVID and stuff like that, like it was very, you knew when everybody was on, and a lot of those, I was probably guilty of it too, drifted off from it. Because at this time it used to be generally Psy still doing it, and then after that you generally have some assembly required. And yeah, it's even when I was doing the draw stream, which was usually a Saturday night at the same time sort of thing. You try to I don't know where it's going with that. But yeah, no, it's cool if you're at that point now, you're starting to go, Thursday night, throw on YouTube because Matt might be doing something, or Friday night when it's Greg, or Sunday when it's Brick Hive and Good Morning Brick World and things like that. There is power to that consistency, and I mean you notice it with listen to a lot of podcasts, same thing, the ones where people do it weekly and whatever, you can just go and listen. There was like I do with Greg Whitland. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's, because he doesn't matter if he's on holidays or whatever, he always streams at that time. Then he has, for over 3 years. Kerry from Pick a Bricks, Monday or a Tuesday. Yeah, it does stick in your mind. Yeah, exactly. I was trying to think of a way to sort of do a bit more on YouTube consistently without the overhead time requirement to do like videos and things. Like I've got about a dozen videos which have been shot and literally just need to be edited. So that's that. There's something there. This is the only problem with doing things live. When you make a mistake, everyone. Can I just slot that piece back in there? Bricks is you eating all of the biscuits. Yes, sorry, Trevor. Hopefully they're tasty. What kind are they? Are they chocolate chip or something? Or is it like an English cup of tea and biscuits? I don't know, sometimes. Because I lived in Canada for a while. Picked up a lot of Americanisms and things like that as well. So my head is between 3 different countries and all the subtleties. No, you might actually be right. Okay. What is that joint? I can't just sit there. Okay, it does. Okay, that's interesting. Brixfish, I haven't actually had any because I'm trying to cut down. That sounds like you're being very responsible and very diligent. I applaud that. Transcending level of self-control. I'm building the mirror version of this. There. Yeah, I think it's just inherent whenever you do anything for a period of time, and be reflective of it and think about how things panned out, how it could have taken, with hindsight, taken more advantage of things as they happened. To some degree, I wish I'd done a bit more with TikTok, but at the same time, it's like, because I was playing with that pretty early, but I think I just didn't quite get it and struggled to get any traction with it. So I went back to the safety of the analytics with YouTube. No, I think it is, it's a very different animal. And I don't know, it almost seems like these days, okay, yes, there's lots of different things, but it is really short, sharp, punchy, trying to stay on trend and all that sort of thing. Which I'm not sure I always do that very well. I'm too old to you start to get to the point you thought you're young and hip and everything, and then it's like, no, you're the old fogey now. It's like, no, how did that happen? Trevor, Brixis, just pass them over and I'll help you cut down. Yeah. Okay, deal. Trevor says, I see that MSO's channel got 100,000 subscribers. That's an amazing following of support. Yeah, no, it's because Emma started around the same time as a lot of us. COVID made redundant, whatever. But she just works. She's always doing something. It's the sort of thing, you put in the work, you turn up and be in the right place. So she had some of her reels, and her reels really took off, and that's again, she did the work for it. So that's awesome to see her do that and get there. And I guess now if she's gone over 100,000, that's it's a play button, isn't it? A silver one? Yeah, so that'll be cool. But also too, you look at her and she's she's quite bubbly and fun, and, very positive. which I think it's really easy to be negative. So, she likes to do what to do in terms of live stream, bit of city. Yeah, of course she's inland, so she has the ability to do reviews. Looking at there. But yeah, I think it just sort of shows that if you stick at something, you put in the work and turn it up consistently enough, you're putting yourself in the best possible chance to success. I think the thing was being not so much surprising, but certainly with her posting that she's at 100,000, then I think is she at 106? Like, yeah. So put on 6,000 subscribers in a couple of days. Yes. Brexit, I don't have TikTok. Yeah, I can't really say whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Probably a good thing. I think obviously Reels has tried to be TikTok, and Shorts has taken the idea of it. I don't spend probably enough time watching it, which is probably a good thing. Initially, when it came out, the algorithm's very good. It would show you stuff very quickly, figure out what you liked, and then keep giving you what you liked. I think it's been its strongest point. Yeah, I agree. Stay away from TikTok. But enough listening to my kitchen clock going TikTok. I can laugh because I tell terrible dad jokes as well. I'm not saying it's not terrible. Well, you know what I mean. Yeah. It just brings a smile to the face. I suppose it's when you start singing some Barry or something like that. TikTok. She's just been sent the Rivendell set to, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm starting to, I'm sure we all notice it. Whenever a set's released, you just see the same photos on everyone's same account. Just wish there was a way to only see it once or twice. I mean, the flip side of that is you can't miss a set there. When the set gets revealed. Brixis, yeah, Emily is a very positive person, which I like. Yeah, no, I think particularly today when anything that's negative gets hyper pushed. I've noticed that too. Sometimes in videos, if you go very negative or something like that, it's much easier to make it successful. So you get a lot of negativity. So when you do get somebody like that and they're genuine about it, it's just refreshing and it's down. Trevor, dad jokes. My sons keep telling me. Yeah, no, you could label all the dad jokes and things like that. And then one of the kids the other day, it's like, Dad, what's a dad joke? I don't get it. So, am I really going to have to explain to you how lame I am? Or is this just a trick that you know it? Seeing if I'm awake to it. Brixis, you can tell Trevor's videos, all the dad with jokes and like that. Yeah. Well, Brixis, when it comes to certain advent calendar jokes. What's the Star Wars kind? Just saying. But not saying. What's that? My subscriber count just went down by 1. Brixish, was that you, perchance? Trevor's years, Brixish, totally. Brixish, I would never use dad jokes. Sorry, I take it all back. It must have been somebody else's account. The funniest thing I found, though, is for I've done those Star Wars Advent calendar videos every year. I think I even started that back on Facebook back in the day, and then get a ton of flack about it. But then this year, somebody had copied my exact format, even doing bad dad jokes. And I'm just like, wow. Somebody's actually gone through and copied it exactly like that. You've looked at that and thought that this worked or something like, okay. I mean, what is it? Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Something like that. Brixish, someone copied you. Yeah, no, I just like, because I have it done in 3 parts. You have the pulling out of the calendar, the speed time-lapse builds, and then just afterwards showing a quick little thing, comments about it, what's good, what's bad, whatever. And I'd seen people copy 2 of those. But that's pretty common. Like, unboxing, building it, yeah. Or unboxing and then showing the final. I was watching one, because you kind of watch it and you get fed others and things like that. And I was watching something else, and then this one popped up, and I'm just looking at it, and it's like, that looks like my video. I don't remember doing that. And then as I watched it all the way through, and then eventually it's like, no, this is actually somebody else. I'm like, what? And I kind of scrolled off it and didn't think about it. And then later on, it's like, I probably should have paid attention a bit more to that. Because, I mean, there's only so many certain ways you can slice and dice all that stuff that, it's an advent calendar. And I cross the line when somebody, I draw the line when somebody starts copying dad jokes as well. Trevor, your format obviously worked. Yeah. It's interesting to do them because you stick to the same format every year, and obviously over the course of a year the algorithm changes, or what they put emphasis and priority on, and it's just always interesting to see how that, because you do usually 24, 25 of them, and it's very formulaic, so you get a good sense after a while, like for that Christmas season, how it works. And then you sort of come to the next one, and it's like, okay, so what's going to happen here? And it's always a bit surprising. The funniest thing is then when you might come to like July the following year, and all of a sudden you get a spike, because obviously somebody's doing Christmas in July or something like that. feels to be flimsily on. Tech Productions. Hey, man. Good. Hey, Tech, how you going? Collabs, mocks that you guys did, that was fantastic. I love that. That was really well done. I hope you guys you got some really good feedback from that. And also saw, I always get the name screwed up. Is it SW or is it not that Sam Smith? It did the Wampa one, and I thought that was brilliant. And he did the video on it, particularly saying it was a quick 12-hour rush job to get it together. It's like, wow, that's really good for the time constraint. I just wish this had some better pictures of yours, because I'm really intrigued to. For anyone who hasn't seen it, Tech did, him and some friends, they basically did, I think the original idea was a scene out of each major Star Wars was a lightsaber battle. So Tech did Return of the Jedi, the Emperor's throne room, and the way, like, obviously the Emperor's chair and that there, and then behind it was, words are escaping me, the arch and the geometry. And it was done really, really well. I just wish you couldn't see the there's no real close-up photographs for it. Just stopping by before I head to bed. Thanks for that. I appreciate that. Hope that you are doing well. And what do you do when someone doesn't like your Lego dad jokes? I appreciate the fact that there's an unsubscribe button there. If they're really, really, really nice, they tell me something about it in the comment, and I count it as engagement. You block them. You could do that. Tech Productions, thanks, man. Yeah, we're really chuffed that it all came out. And yeah, it was Sam. He did a great job. He's a great builder. Yeah, no, it's just even the way that he thinks about things, like when he's doing a forced perspective on that back, seeing the Wampa cave and everything like that. Bricks, oh, I've not seen that. Yeah, definitely check it out. I thought because he did that, and then he did a video as he was building it, and his thought process and things like that. And as a creative, I really liked seeing that sort of stuff. So it really gave you a different insight into how he's doing it. Tech, I do have a pics problem with mine, is they didn't have any background really, so hard to capture. Got a video hopefully done by the weekend though. Yeah, no, I can see that, because the way, yeah, the lattice work or whatever, it could easily get lost if you didn't have the background there. So hopefully get that done by the weekend, the video. Okay, so your idea of next weekend will be in about 6 months' time? Okay, cool. So we're still waiting for Solar Brick Builder's video on how to do lights. I think that's about 3 years off. So, he's such a tease with that though. It's like, oh, I can show you how to do lights for next to nothing. So great, yeah, I can't wait for it. So where's that video? So where's that video? Even comes back after a break. It's like, so where's that video? Tech Productions, spot on 6 months would be successful. Yeah. Because I still remember, like, you used to do a Tech Tuesday. And if it was done on a Tuesday, that was lucky. You guys still doing mockumentary, or what's happened with that? I don't think I've seen that in a while. Or is it just not showing up in my feed? that was always another good one, just to sort of see the progress you make over a period of time. Tech Productions, it's like the ultimate clickbait, and he hasn't even done the video. He really got us captivated. Yeah. No, I think we were talking earlier about videos that take off and do well, and he's definitely had the hook there. So I'm sure if he ever did it. And this isn't good. Up to the next bag, and yeah. Where did this go? So, see, the thing with Livestream is you'll make mistakes. That being said, I've done this with Technic builds, and they're worse. Productions, yeah, tech meant to be on a Tuesday. Yeah, I can't really talk because I did Technic Tuesday for about 2 or 3 episodes, and I still want to do it, but that's with everything else. Well, let me get the time. It feels like I have to take half of this apart. Bugger. You get to the point you do the sort of necklace or whatever it is, and it's like, yeah, I can't really appreciate that because I've got to find out where these bits were meant to go. I do wonder if I should not be doing this. This just has got disaster written all over it. Tech mockumentary went to Twitch for a bit, but we all got quite busy and focused different things, so we hop on every now and then. That's a bit of it. Yeah, no, yeah, it's a shame that you guys aren't doing that, but because it's always interesting. You all have different approaches to how you're doing things. Somewhat inspiring at times, but yeah, no, life just sort of happens in the meantime. And what do you think of the bust? This is an interesting one. This was on sale at Zavi recently for, normally, what is it, 300, but it was down to 200. I just looked at it and it's like, I'm building some mocks with lots of black pieces. So I'm sort of like, this is a parts pack. So this is not necessarily because I particularly wanted for that reason. I mean, I'm trying to figure out, okay, I think I know where one of these pieces was meant to go. So I went into this. Certainly, I've criticized it in the past. Like it's, yeah, could have been done better. Blah blah blah. Whatever. I wonder if that's meant to go there. Sorry, I think I've figured out where the bits go. Yeah, it goes that way. But as to your question, what I think about, it's only bag 5 of about 17, and it's big. Like you're very quickly building up the bulk. So it's really surprising in that way. And then also too internally, like when you open all the bags, you're seeing all these purples and magentas and blues, which obviously they're using. It's all internal, and occasionally you see a few of them poking out. So that is, it's and boy, now which side doing where? Because they're not the same. So, using a lot of big pieces as opposed to like a speed champions would just use on like, 2x6s, 2x8s, big chunky pieces. So I think it surprised me a lot, I guess. This is where I'm really coming down to it. I'm going to get there. Not a Marvel fan, but I would have got this bust if it was a normal size of a helmet. Sets in the 60 pound range. Yeah, it's the Marvel helmets by and large. I'm just looking at the Iron Man, and so I got the Iron Man one, and then I got the one from the fan designer, which is 5 years prior to it. I think there's a video on the channel where I go through and compare them. And yeah, I never liked that one. And I'm just trying to think. The Venom and Carnage one's been okay. I think the Star-Lord one now, they're using as a pencil holder. Like, it doesn't feel like Star Wars where they've really sort of nailed it and gotten it into their stride. It's sort of like they're still figuring it out. I think, as Stud Sidious commented earlier, I mean, you can see, obviously, with Black Panther, the film and things like that, I think, had they done it with Wolverine and his hands and his claws, I think that would have been a hit. They may still end up doing that at some stage. So, yeah, it's not usually... Like, this is kind of just... It was on the radar because, as a parts pack, like... it's good value in that regard, and then whatever we don't use, we can put into the kids' Bricklink store and whatever, and because it's black pieces, they'll move, which they always do. That's fair enough. I keep seeing the table football on sale and double feed, so tempted to pull the trigger on that for the parts. Some great minifigure head prints. Yeah, no, I did the same. Again, it's parts pack. Because it had gotten that low and things like that, because I'd also been into Leicester Square, and they had it set up there and played it. Not really fussed on that aspect of it. And then the kids have got like a cheap £10, foosball table or whatever, and that's so much more fun. Like, so it's just like, yeah. Like, I think, they obviously released it just on the tail end of the World Cup and obviously trying to capitalize on that. And I think, I think it's one of those typical things where they fixed at a price point to release it at, and they got to the end of it, and it's like, okay, well, we've only got £150 worth of stuff here. Like, okay, we'll put in a whole bunch of minifigures. And it's like, well, should have done what was right by the product. But anyway, I'm not going to get too much into that. We solved that problem. I looked at the foosball table too, as they've reduced it. Yeah. Again, I just look at it, parts pack. What can we do with it? What's yeah, that went on sale pretty quick. Even now. Yeah, I don't think the helmet thing lends itself as well to Marvel as it does Star Wars. Having said that, some of the Marvel weapons work great. Captain America's shield sounds fun. Yeah, the shield could be interesting because years ago I did for a kid's birthday, a big Master Wu like centerpiece sort of thing, and I did the conical hat that he has, and designed it and everything like that, and because it's completely circle and everything like that, it is boring to put together, and it's really difficult. So I would imagine the shield is going to be a big giant circle, but hopefully they can do something fun with it. Like, if they did something like the 89 Batwing, where you can like hang it on the wall, or it's got a stand with it, like those sorts of things could be really cool. It's really, really well with that. So I'm just wondering here whether I should do another bag. I feel like I can get through We've done 5 and wherever we ended up. So I'm going to drop this down. Now the camera freaking out. So I just got the camera too close more than anything. So you kind of got, the neckline to the shoulders there, the top part there. And the head. I think the next part, I'm just looking at the instructions ahead. That was a bad pun. The instructions ahead. It's going to be a lot of the internal head with all the snops. Yeah, I'd imagine it'd be wall mountable, missed opportunity if not. Yeah. This one's obviously done Thor's hammer, the Infinity Gauntlet, and then what was the other one? Was it the Nano Gauntlet? Yeah, I think the other thing too would be interesting to sort of see how they. Is it going to be sort of stud finished or tile finished? Because obviously it's got a bit of a camber and a curve to it. Like you can see, because when I did the Master Wu's hat, the way which I did that was using just all plates, and then the surface was pretty rough. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do with it. Okay, I'm going to do another one. Back noise time. So yeah, I think getting back to your original question, I think I'm actually enjoying it. It's just something really different. Yeah, it's big and chunky, and it's just a shame. Obviously, when they do the helmets at the more sort of Star Warsy Marvel size, they're limited by what they can do with it. So then when you go bigger, you got more space and things to work within. Have they made the most of that? I don't know. Not down. Brickish eye. You think, therefore you are? Something like that. I think, therefore I am. I imagine something little brickier builds one, but maybe the star will be tiled. Okay, yeah. No, I think I was just thinking about it. Obviously, I mean, Thor's hammer was much more square, so it was easy to do, but that was all pretty tiled and flat. It's like Thor's hammer. Maybe the box art will show it being one thing, and then the reality of it will be different. So I think something that Jang always picks up. But I mean, it is getting pretty bad with some of that sort of stuff. But I'm trying to be positive about these things. But too many pieces in here. Rick, I wonder how big the shield's going to be. Yeah, how big? I mean, part of you is thinking, is the hammer to scale with the Infinity Gauntlet? I mean, Tech, do you have those? Because that for me would be interesting. It's like, do you keep it at that scale? In which case it's expensive, or are you still trying to hit that 60 £100 price point? In which case it's also scaled down a bit, because your build is going to be pretty repetitive. Let's face it, you're going to, apart from the star, you're going to have 4 quarters which are all the same. maybe if there's a hand grip. I mean, that would be the interesting thing. If they've got a hand grip on the inside, you'd have to be a certain size. Although maybe it's a hand grip for a child. Certainly one of our kids was busting for a Captain America shield, and then we eventually got one. It's metal, aluminum, or whatever. He just loves it. Like, so I can see you get some big kids with it as well. Tech, how does it compare to building model? How's it compare? Okay, I'm surprised you remember that. Although, to be fair, you've got one as well, so very different, very, very different. It's no, think about it. Scale-wise, it's probably the same. I mean, until I finished it, I can't really tell. I think it's going to be slightly bigger, but just because the neck feels so bigger on us. But it's a night and day difference because, with Maul, building that, it's the Lego sculpture for like the figures and things like that, where it's just layer upon layer upon layer. And I remember the instructions for that. I think it was step 2 had a mistake, and even one of the parts in the head had a mistake as well. I want to say about the ear or something. But I think, to be fair, the models are 20 years apart. So, because I mean, Maul was released 2002, I think. And this was released last year, so yeah, 20 years apart. And at that stage, I liked, that was when it come out of a dark age sort of thing. And, as a kid, you always wanted to build one of these. So I think that scratched that itch. And then also, too, building the original buildable Yoda, which is very much in a similar style. It's an interesting question. Certainly, if this was in the style of Darth Maul build, I remember that being a very frustrating build. For some reason, I tend to think too, because you're putting bricks on bricks on bricks, it wasn't fun on your fingers either. I mean, do you remember building yours? How did you feel about them all? I mean, this is obviously using a lot of stud techniques. So you've got a lot of, the snot techniques. Stud techniques, isn't that most of Lego? I think that's the thing that's been really surprising. Like, I mean, this is bag 6. And you've got the shoulders, the main chunk of the neck, the main part of the base, and then this is going to be basically internal of the head. Like, it goes up really quick. Sure, you can appreciate that as a builder. Whenever you're on site and you're getting just the shell of the building going up really quick. It's going back in this thing here. Imagine a wall mountable eye. I'm imagining something a little bricky. Okay, sorry, I'm just reading back over this. I wonder how big the shield. How's it compared to building? Unsure of the price point actually, Joe, so hard to say. Yeah, only text saying only occurred to me just how similar these sets are and how different. I'm sure they're constructed. Yeah, it's night and day. More was a slog. Tried to time lapse it for Tech Tuesday. I really had to speed it up because I sat looking at it for ages. Yeah, no, so yeah. Sounds like you had the same experience with Maul than I did. I think like the buildable Yoda, the buildable yoga, the build Yoda. They're challenging builds, and I always remember my fingers hurting. Maybe that's because of making mistakes. This is certainly nothing like that. And yeah, because obviously you're using bricks in the last one, this one's using all sorts of different things. It's interesting because back in the day it was about £200, or maybe it's $200, and this is, if you allow for inflation, things like that, it's probably a similar price point. Yeah, it's. I think it's really surprising me. I think is what it really comes down to, and I think it's a bit of a shame between the price point and just the fact that it's gotten. And I can't say that I'm totally innocent of that either. Brickapix, hello there. Hey, how you going? Hope that you're doing well. Welcome along. Just building a bit of Black Panther Busty. Somebody about you a bit earlier. Can't remember. Maybe I'm getting confused with somebody else. Tech saying hello. Bigger Brick saying hello back to Tech and Brickshish. I would love to build more, however, I can't because Thomas won't swap in for a brick. It's so selfish. I wonder if I could spare part him actually. Does he have any exclusive bits? He does, but they're not. Okay, the main thing is in the base of the neck, you've got these, I'm trying to remember, I think it was quarter circle panels, and they're in black. And I think it's sort of like it was only in that set and one other set. So I think each one of those is really expensive. Like I'm just trying to remember, they're about like £5 or £10 each, and you have 4 of them. But I noticed a lot of times when people lean them on eBay and things like that, because I picked it up off eBay, people will quite often either swap it out for clear parts or grey parts, because it's in the base, so it doesn't really matter. I think there's like in the back of it, there's a 2x1 brick which says Lego on it, but whatever. But otherwise, I think the rest of it is all just normal bricks. Because again, originally I think I got it as a parts pack because again, for one of the kids' birthdays, they wanted building a cupcake stand, which is a yin and a yang. I think I got the instructions on Rebrickable for it, and it was black and red, and it was the cheapest way to get a lot of black and red parts. So yeah, sort of built the cupcake stand out of it first, and then came back and built the mall. I think if you can't find one which is loose, rebricking it, if you change out a couple of those really expensive base parts, it can be done. But certainly much the same. I think Tech and I are both in agreement because I built that one as well. It's a really challenging build, and it's not something you have fun doing. Like, it's something you have to really concentrate on. But very satisfying when you get to the end of it. Well, like, you think about it for the time period all years ago, and as I think I was commenting before, if you've ever wanted to build or have the experience of building one of those sort of Legoland type character things, I think that's probably close to it. Not that I've ever built the Legoland one, but it strikes me as being very similar to that. Tech Productions, they're even more than that now, I think. I take you might be talking about those little bits. Yeah, I know they're, if you do, yeah, they're, it may have even been £25 each or something stupid like that. Brickabix, how's the foot? Yeah, hopefully it's feeling better. Brickabix back on both feet now, so all good. Thanks for asking. Yeah, I hope that you're recovering well nicely. Say what? Cheapest in the UK to get all four of those quarter-round panels is 106. Okay, yeah. That's like when I first. It's like, were they 5 or 10 or 25? I think they're about 25. They must have been about 25. So yeah, if they're going up to that, because yeah, it's. But I think it's the sort of thing. I think much like the Yoda, because the Yoda one, second hand out of the box, that was going for almost 200, and then they brought out the newer one, and that price just crashed really badly. So I could imagine if they ever do a Darth Maul one again, which you'd have to think that's at some stage in the future going to happen. Well, maybe not. I mean, if he's in a TV show somewhere, I would imagine that Darth Maul one, the price on that will go much like the Yoda one. It'll just crash. Maybe if they made a baby Maul, then it'll do really well. I can't think now what they even look like. I'll have to have a look. Yeah, it's those I'm just trying to think, because I remember it's like when you have a Star Wars set like the Emperor's Throne Room. I think you got like a circle in there. They're like 5 high wall panels, but they're curved, and you get 4 like the little quarter ones, and you get 4 of them together, and they form a circle. And probably just confused it even more. Yeah, because I think at the time looking much the same. Do I rebrick it, or an eBay one, or do I care about those parts? Only 38p for the printed 1x2 brick. Yeah. Would be interesting also how it would fare if they released the quarter round in black again. Can pretty much par it together from the pub. All the bricks are so basic. Yeah, no, that's the thing. And I think the one which I got was secondhand. It did come with instructions, but they were faded, so it meant you couldn't see the colors properly. And I think there's a couple of places where it may have had a tan and a dark tan. No, that can't be right, because dark tan didn't come out until the Opera House set, and after that, I'm trying to think. Why do I know stupid stuff like that? Or maybe it was Yoda with greens and things. I don't know. Yeah, having a good set of instructions is a is a must for that set. But yeah, like Tex said, like it's all pretty standard sort of bricks. Again, for being 2002. I'm just trying to think. Whatever you had them coming out around the same time. You had the Yoda, you had the Darth Maul, and you had the dragon, like the Lego mascot. They all came out in that sculptural type build, and I don't think they've really done it ever again or since. I'm just Trying to look here. It seems I'm going to have some pieces missing. That can't be good. How can you be missing some of those? I feel like I'm missing two of these purple pieces. And I don't think we got any spare ones. Okay. Tech 10 brown around the horns. Yeah, I thought it was more. I thought it was more internal to the head because it was so. Maybe it was the Yoda one. Pig bricks. Yeah. To be fair, it's a base. I may just build and stick a light or dark tan in there. Yeah. I think someone would have digitally remade it in studio or something and produce better ones. Surprised, yeah, being Star Wars, and hasn't. Maybe that's something you could do. Tech. Bricky picks R2D2. Just trying to think of the R2D2 from that time period. You're probably right though. It has no play features, so Lego will step away from it. To be fair, it was purely for the adult fans. Yeah, I think if you was to come back in some form of media, current media, it seems to be the sort of thing. Might get another one. I just can't believe that these pieces, these little 1x1 round cylinders, because they were. I've been picking them off from, and there's two of them that are missing. So I can't believe that. Not visible. Little one there. It's always got a whole bunch of random round pieces. I just can't. It's not there. I'm pretty sure I haven't put them anywhere where they haven't meant to go. Is there more to come? Is that? Trevor, not often you have missing pieces, to be fair to Lego. Yeah, the fact that there's two of them missing, that just... it's that usual sort of thing. Is it under somewhere? Like just being dopey about it? Oh, wait a second, what's happened there? No, but that was the last step. No, there's definitely two there. So... just trying to think if I picked them up accidentally. I mean, usually it's one of those sorts of things. As soon as you move on to something else, you can find it. Trying to think in the meantime what are all these random parts off, because it's internal, so you're not going to see the thing. So I might just do Make a rainbow thing up. Found mine in the bag on Monday. Is it thrown away? With 2 bits in it. Yeah, no, that's what I was just looking at. That's why I sort of always just make that habit to keep the bags off to one side in case something dumb might happen. But those are all the bag 6s. I just feel like I'll go forward with it and find it. Trying to think, looking at this, the way that's put together, and probably look for something a bit later on. Anyhow, really tempted to get the foosball set, essentially 115 with double VIP. I do have vouchers just displaying at conventions, but it feels like a waste of vouchers for a set I want parts for. Brickapigs. I'm tempted to actually take. The faces are so useful. Got all these 5 purist customs I want to make using it. Tech, if you stay around here, you're going to get talked into it. Coming from somebody who's already bought it. And I bought it when it was slightly higher. But yeah, it's a great parts pack. Just saying. I must feel like Greg now. Just saying. Now, speaking of which, let's get back to finishing this off properly. Trevor's here's Tech Productions, go for it. Wait, when does double VIP end? It's not tonight, is it? Just add some pressure to it. That goes there. Those 2 there. Yeah, that looks alright. That's there. That's going off there. That should be off there. When does VIP end? Because what's today? Today is 16. I don't know. Those 2. That. If I find it later, it's going to get replaced. Yeah, because I think once double VIP ends, then it's going to be the removal truck will be the GWP for the city things. To be fair, heads have come down significantly. Bricklinks since it used to be like £5 each. Yeah, probably because everyone's getting it cheap and parting it out. And yes, it ends in 25 minutes. Oh, the pressure of it. The pressure. What do? You don't want that FOMO kicking in, but then at the same time, it is a foosball table. But it is a good parts pack. I think the thing with it though, even was, I know when I looked at it, the part out value on it, something like, I think it was like £420. Like, it was significant. So yeah, if you get it for 100 and what is it, 30, 15, whatever it is, less your bits and bases. You're gonna have those range of minifigures. It'll be interesting because I thought I saw a retirement list the other day that it's they're going to end at the end of this year, so it'll only be a 13-month one, something like that. Rick's, oh god, you're gonna be looking at the foosball table. This is the sort of thing, if if everyone was to get one, then maybe at some stage just go through and do a stream of building foosball tables. The ultimate torture. Sure, this is not how people thinking of spending a Thursday night. Streaming and considering a foosball table, that thing that has been relentlessly mocked. We've been waiting for the removal truck. The thing is, we don't know when that. Wait, maybe double VIP ended already. Trevor, I'm currently looking at the football table now. I just find that's hilarious. Should we all get one for the memes? I've already got it. So. Trevor's videos, although I can't see anything advertised for double VIP. Maybe it has ended. But I mean, double VIP, what is... It works, well, 10%. So it's 130, 13 pounds, give or take, maybe 14. Click and Cliff, g'day, welcome along. Currently building the Black Panther Bust. We've all been tempted by the foosball table. Given the price, a good parts pack. Given them be double VIP running on still. Be warned. How are you going this evening, or this morning, this afternoon, wherever you are? Hope that you're well. Tech looks like double VIP has gone. That could be putting the FOMO. From time to time, I do notice that you sort of, if I get this and it's got promo make it worthwhile. And then by the time you get around to it, the promo ends and you're like, you know what? I just can't bring myself. I could have gotten it with a promo. If I can't get it with that promo, I'm not going to get it at all. Next time I need to be quicker on these things. Quick and Cliff, I'm good. Yo, Trevor's videos. Bricks is saying hi as well. Excellent. For a second there, I thought those may have been the eyes, but then it's like, wait a minute, they'll be right next to each other. That can't be right. It's funny how we always want to see eyes and smiley faces and things, with its car front grills and what have you. Anything else? It is so hardwired to read people's expressions we put onto inanimate objects. Hence why films like Cars do so well. Trevor's decided not to order the football table. I've resisted temptation. I think it sounds like the double VIP points may have been the deal breaker on that. Good on you. That's a good sign then. Ordered the dry flowers instead. Oh no. It's only new. I'm sure it will go on sale and discount at some stage. That said, I've managed to avoid or resist all the flowers at this point. But after the other day listening to some people talk about it, it's like, maybe I should give it another look. British no VIP points. That's just ruined it for me. I'm out. If it's still 40% off by the time the removal van comes out, I'll buy it. Do we know what the threshold is for that yet? No, in my head I thought it was like 160 or something like that. But I think it's going to be on. I think it's limited to like creator sets, and it might be something else. So whether ideas then falls into that, I don't know. Because it seemed like there was like a fair amount out this year, and then somebody was suggesting then part of it is because each team will get their own sort of GWP, and that's why sometimes they only buy certain things, because they're coming out of that sort of team or area's expense or budget. Uh, 160 down. Yeah, no, the thresholds feel like they've increased recently. Like, what was the other one? Was the Houses of the World? Was that like 2 million? Princess only, yeah. Tech, gonna have to buy 2 football tables. Oh, Jesus. Love you, Tech. WJF 160. British Tech Productions. Tech production can't even get the table football for the. Never mind then. They have definitely shot uploads. Yeah. Just trying to think. If they've gone up a load, which they have, do we feel that the quality of them has also gone up? Like in terms of what you were getting. The Blacktron recently seemed pretty good for what it was. That was seeing Houses of the World. Nothing really particularly wonderful about that. What are the other ones I've had recently? Tech, the spend is higher and the quality has not improved at all for me. Yeah, I think if you take the Blacktron one out of it, certainly, because even like the Christmas ones, they felt like Santa's Workshop and some of those. I want to say previous years have been about 120, and then this year it was like 160 or something like that. Bricabix, so it's saying if I buy, I'll get 2,000 VIP points. Yeah, I always think of the normal VIP %, so if you get double, it's 10%. I mean, it's just weird because at least in the UK, it's, I think, at 8,000 points is £50 as a voucher. Take last GWP, remember, and enjoying was the sailboat. Yeah, I think when I got that one, that was I think I just flipped that one straight on because it's an expensive one. I mean, my favorite's always been the Batmobile, which came out with the 1989 Batmobile. That was awesome, fantastic that one. Brigapix, is it double or not? I can never work it out. I think Tech was saying at least that it's not there anymore, but it may have finished slightly early. So if you're a little bit behind in the world, it might still be going. I always hate that when you sort of get a great idea for someone, you get intrigued by something and you go, okay, yeah, we do it, double VIPs, oh no, it's ended. Dope. Because then put one in there. I hate it when you get to the last couple of steps and you're like, pieces left over, not looking good. Oh no, it looks like we're using them. Bridges, what's it saying on the item page? Oh, that it's still double VIP. No, it can always be one of those things. If it says it there, screenshot it, order it. If it doesn't happen, call the customer service. I had a real shocker with this bag. I really have. I'm gonna have to go back through the bags and check these. Damn, 10 minutes to decide. Oh yeah, I just added it to the basket. Alrighty then. So if you're still there, Trevor, have you been brought back into it? Are you considering it as well? You know you want to. Just think of all the people who paid full price for it, or didn't get it on such a good deal. Hey, Bricklicker, how you going? Are you doing well? Certainly, you've had a very busy couple of weeks. The current Lego Titanic, with all the leaks coming out. You sort of get to the end of last year, it's like, right, there's not going to be anything which I'm really going to get tempted with next year. And then I watch your videos and my wallet's already just hurting just thinking about things. Now, very quickly, we're just at that point with people during the foosball table because it kind of worked out. If it's still double VIP points, it works out to about £116. But that might end in the next 8 minutes. So I think Tech's being tempted. Brixie has certainly been looking at it. I think we've also had Trevor's videos as well. So I actually picked up one. It was around Christmas or something like that. So when it was I think it was that stage. It was that, and then I think it was 100. Was it 160 threshold? So you add in like a brick head, and you could get a. Was it a Santa's? Was it Santa's workshop or something? One of those ones. Brick Clicker, it goes back up in price at midnight tech. Ooh, the pressure's on now. Oh, jeez. Because, yeah, certainly when I bought it and looked at it, the part out value was over £400. It's probably come down now with mini figures, but, you know. What's the deal with the next GWP Brick Clicker? Oh, pressure's on now. I think tech wants that removal van, but if it doesn't apply to Lego Ideas, or it's £160 threshold, tech being tech, if it's £160 threshold, he'll get 2 of the foosball tables. So he's gone from none to 2. Oh, now Brick Clicker's thrown a cat in amongst the pigeons. Got probably 5 or 6, 7 minutes to figure out with the FOMO on the foosball table if it goes back up to full price. Could have had it for £130, maybe 116 if double VIP kicks in. Or will it go back up to, what is its normal price anyhow? Is it like $250 or something silly? Or is it $225? I don't know. I'm sure it's probably there on the page. Realistically, I could sell off the Roadster, and with the double VIP, I'd get it for under 100. It does feel like robbery. What, that you're still getting robbed paying 100 for the parts pack known as the foosball table. 215 retail, yeah. Yeah, it must be is it $250 US when it's normal price? Brick Clicker, apparently it's 160 spend from the 21st to the 3rd of March tech. Really need like a countdown timer or something. Do 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 do. I was thinking of ending the stream, but I'm more interested to see where you guys end up with this. Give it another 5 minutes. That's in the meantime, I might just put this thing. Oh, Trevor, don't you kick off with that nonsense. Kind of been waiting for that thing to go down. The Atari set is down from 209 to 168. To be fair, if it doesn't ship until after the next promo, so worst case I could cancel it and reorder if it went down again. Oh, love your thinking. Love your thinking there, Tech. Brigade Beats, yeah, I just bought the football table. Oh, one over the line. How many more? Brigapix, does it look like it did give you the double VIP? How's this all gonna go? Okay, so I've got the necklace there. Connect the head with the eyes. Looks like I need to push those 2 pins in there. Is that gonna sit there? Looks like it's all gonna fit. Bricapix, we get a free ambulance thing as well. Trevor, congratulations to Bricapix. Bricapix, well, I collect ideas sets as well, so it's going to get it at some point. Brick, you just pulled the trigger as well. Oh, that's awesome to hear. Yeah, that's the thing with the ideas. I sometimes feel like I'm lucky coming into it a little late, because then it's like I'm not going to go back and get some of the original ones because they're just too expensive. Trevor's videos, yeah, it's 20% off the Atari. Brigapix 2064 VIP points, so if that's double, then yep. Brixis, I'm so weak. So what is that? Brigapix, Brixish, Trevor, we didn't manage to convince. Where's Tech in all this? He's gone a bit quiet. He's not tapping away at the chat so much, so he could be off. He could be hedging his bets here if he does it and then he later cancels it. Associated and Tech. Oh, he got in at the end. Guys. So what's that now? So that's Brixix, Bricapix, Tech. I've got one, so that's 4. Matt is an enabler. Yeah, it's normally 1,032 points. So I'm just happy that you guys got a better deal than what I did. I think I paid it when I was 149 plus the with a brickhead, and then pushed me to 160, I think, to get the Christmas things. I think it was Brick Clicker coming in right at the end, just getting it over the line. Yeah. Hype I haven't spontaneously purchased in a while. I can't get back into this. Tech, we know that you're easily led astray. It's always Brick Clicker's fault. Yeah, that's it. Nothing to do with me. This was not the bargain you were looking for. So I guess it's the sort of thing when it turns up. Do we want to do a foosball table stream? We want to do it one Thursday night, guys, or at least start it or something? That would be pretty funny, actually. Brick picks. That was my bricktastic money gone. Well played then. Bricks is so true. Tech production now. He's done a runner. I don't know. It was Tech. You know, when Tech goes and buys 3 AT-ATs, this is like chicken scratch to him. Trevor Brick Clicker, hope you're well. Brick Clicker, are you coming to Manchester next week? I'm down. Hey, Trevor's video is not bad, thanks. Hope you're the same. Oh, he's still there. Yeah, no, seriously, I think the plan is for me, at least, to do these streams on a Thursday. So I think I'll keep doing Black Panther again next week. Don't know whether streams, but then maybe if that allows enough time for everyone to get theirs, and then if anybody wants to jump on, we can all do the foosball table on Thursday, or if it goes over a couple, or if people want to drop in and out, whatever. Just let me know. Tech Productions, it's gone back up. What a buy. Oh, you got in there at the death. I'm sure you're feeling so much better now. You got, where is it? Brick Clicker, hey, Trevor's video is not bad. Hope you're the same. Brixie, I know he's still here. Brick Clicker, Brick Bake's playing on doing so far. Excited for it again. Brick Bake, excellent. So we get to meet Greg. I'm very scared. Good old Jupiter legs. No, Greg's fine. It's just if he brings his iPad with him. Brickapix, wait, what? Sorry, I wasn't listening properly. Matt, sorry. To which part? No, I was just thinking, if people want to, given that there's now, I think, 4 of us who've theoretically got the foosball table in a couple of weeks on this Thursday stream, if we all want to jump on and just have like a foosball table stream, so we can all do it at the same time. I'd be happy to organise that if people are interested. Trevor's video, the football table is back ordered now. Oh no, the 3 of you bought the last 3 that were there. Ships on 24, so hopefully shouldn't be too long after that. Tech production, you'll hear Greg before you see him. Or does he do like a drum roll to enter the room? Hey, I'm here. I've come in the door. Brickavix, last time we were going to meet, he said, let's hook up. I mean, I don't know what it means down south. Up here, there'll be no hooking up. Maybe he's just chancing his arm, and then he can act dumb later. Oh, no, that's not. Brickabits, yep. I'm up for that. Brickabits, the football stream. That is not the hooking up with Greg. So yeah, that's so that's next Thursday. So I think this is going to take another stream or 2. So maybe if we're looking around, is that 9th of March? 1, 2, March as a foosball stream. Maybe in a week or 2's time, just see if you've got your tables, and then we can all go from there. Brickabix, LOL. On a serious note, though, we can't wait to meet him. It'll be a laugh. We all need group hug Craig. He may even crack a smile. Test match sounds pretty good. Nope, sorry, I didn't refresh. The Atari has gone from sale. Sorry, I'm guessing that's a sale. If it's gone from Dale, who knows? I'm just trying to think who's. Forget this. So for the foosball stream, we've got Brickapix, maybe with Tech, Brixish, and myself. And Brickapix, because I'll probably try to organize it over Instagram or something like that. So I'm just trying to see. So then 9th of March. Trying to see Brickabix. Do I follow you? Surely I must. Yeah, I am following. Just trying to see. Oh yeah. Yeah, see it. Sent you some London calling sketches in the past. Brickabit depends on my work. Not sure what I'll do that week, but if it's late, then I can drop in afterwards. Hopefully, it'll be on an early or off. Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, we'll just sort of we can sort of start in there. talk to everyone beforehand, just sort of see if it's all turned up or if it's gone pear-shaped or something like that. I think that would be kind of funny of all the streams to do. And if anyone in the meantime plays full price and wants to come on, can debate the relative merits of it. And with that said, I think start wrapping it up here. Have a look at where we got to. Just trying to see if there's any way to just angle the camera slightly. This is big. I'm really surprised by it. Bag. I've done 6 out of, I think, 17 in this. Could be wrong on that. As I was sort of saying earlier, compared to the fact that I have to have a look around for a few weeks. And that's there. So certainly, I think I may have even had a poll there. Did I can't even remember the question. Otherwise, yeah, just sort of on the way out, hit the thumbs up, like button, subscribe, all that sort of little good stuff there. Be great. I've got to get through my own lad. I don't even know how do I. I've never done a poll before, so I don't even know where it is at this point. We got Turtle Brilliant Stream wishing you all good night. Take care, everyone. Sorry, I gotta be up for work. Yep, no, that's good. Everyone there. Bye. Phone's about to die. Thanks everyone for being along. It's been a fun night. The first end was a real classic. As I said, try to do this again every Thursday, 8:30 kick-off time UK, 3:30 American, and silly o'clock into New Australia. Thanks for everyone who dropped in, and for everyone who watches us back on replay and gets this far. Thanks very much. I appreciate that. And thanks to the people we have. Brick6 Tech Productions. There's a brick clicker in there, Trevor's videos. And where Stud Seduce right at the very beginning. Great fun. JLS was in as well. King O was in. King Oldorf for a little bit. And I think that takes us through just about everyone. Thanks again. Do it all next week. Take it easy. Have fun. And we'll see you next time. Bye.